You know, when we're going to get married, one of the words with which I went into marriage, particularly the whole wedding thing, was God said, I will prove to you that I am reliable. That was it. My wife is here, you can ask her. I'm one of the most untroubled human beings you have seen in your life. Anything God says he wants to do, it is God who says he wants to do it, that will do it. And if God does not say he's going to do it, why am I bugging my head trying to do it? So you see, there's no way that worry, it has no space. And I used to tell my people that worry and anxiety, for instance, worry or anxiety is not a strategy. Have you realized? No, talk to me. Have you realized that worry is not a strategy? Have you realized that anxiety is not a strategy? You never improve any situation by worry. You never improve any situation by anxiety. If God is going to do it, God will do it. If God is not going to do it, if you like, worry until you arrive at worry, God will still not do it. So God says, I will prove to you that I am reliable. It was that word that I took home. I told my dad in January that my wedding will be in June. My dad now looked at me. Hey! My dad is a man, male. Like, he's a proper. So he looked at me with the look of an elder who is watching a fingerling. In ignorance, just expressing himself. And first question, he calls me by my local name. Say, Kele. I say, sir. Say, how much do you have? My answer was one word. I said, God. Then he smiled. You know this smile of, hey, this boy does not understand anything. How much do you have? I said, God. Aye. So he now began to give me wisdom. He said that I should look at him. That even though he does not know riches, plenty, that he knows shame. So I told him that he will not see shame. You know why? God said, I will prove to you that I am reliable. That's all. I don't need to see the wind. I don't need to see the rain. I will just make that valley full of ditches and he will fill it. That was the other thing he said to me. And the third word was a certain king made a wedding for his son. A certain king made a marriage for his son. That was the first thing actually. And that day I took my hands off of it. You know the reason why some of you are still laboring to get married is because you are not willing to accept the wedding that God is ready to make for you. That's why. Yes. A certain king made a marriage for his son. So, any wedding that God wants to make for me, I am his son, I will take it. It is because you have other plans. That's why you are going into debt. That's why you are borrowing money. I got married I had no salary. I had no income. Because I was doing full-time ministry. I was volunteering for an organization. And what they were giving me as allowance was not enough to pay my bike fare to and fro where I was. When I started there, they were giving me 2,500. That was far, far less than what I earned as a core member serving Nigeria. At least that gives you some context. Right? So there was nothing except that God has said to me. The whole wedding thing began a year before that year, in April. I was preaching a vigil, and I gave a word. I said, there are two persons here. God says he will marry for you miraculous, supernaturally. And that one of that wedding will be June next year. I left there after preaching. You know, I went to use the restroom. As I was coming back from the restroom, God now said, you remember that word about marriage supernaturally? I said, he said, you know that one about June? I said, he said, that's for you. This is April. At that time, I don't even know who I'm going to get married to. I was not engaged. You know what I'm still trying to do? I'm still trying to advertise to you the word of God. You can hang your life on the word of God. Because when God has spoken, God has walked. God doesn't need to call an execution committee, say, hey, I promise this guy, what do we do now? That's not God. He calls. Let me hear you say he calls. The Bible says he calls those things that be not as though they were. He calls. So I said, June next year? He said yes. It took me almost 2 weeks to come to terms with that word, to believe it. I kept wrestling. It settled. So when it settled, that's now when I started telling people that my wedding will be June next year. Say, hey, who is the lucky lady? I said, we'll find out. I said, we'll find out. We eventually found out. And we had that wedding in June. So when I came to tell my boss where I was working that our wedding, we're planning to get married on June 7th. He now said, why June? Why 7th? I said June because it has to be June. 7th because that's one Saturday in June. And I said, well, you'll be out of the country at that time. He's coming back, I think, on the 24th or something. So I brought out my diary and I checked. I said, okay, there's one Saturday in June after 24th. There's a Saturday on 28th, so we'll do it 28th. It has to be June. And because what God said was June, there was no date. So I could pick any date in June, but it was going to have to be in June. The rest, as they say, is history. We got married without, we didn't owe anybody. Nobody owed us. We got married. Some of the people that were supposed to give us good money, God kept them busy in other things, other places. So they were apologizing profusely because they didn't know how I was going to take the fact that they were not going to be at my wedding. Meanwhile, you are not the one officiating. If you come, I'll be thinking, oh, where will you sleep? What will you eat? You know, a lot of you just look for trouble where there's none. See, if you don't come for my wedding, it's my day. How did it become your day? This is the day that the Lord has made. When did any day become your own? So they will call, they didn't even know how to say, you know, my office, they say I should go to Port Harcourt. I don't even know. So whatever they wanted to give, they will now give them, and then I will add my ticket, my airfare, because I already planned to come. I just want to know if I could, I would have come. That money was more important than what are they doing for me? What are they doing for me at the wedding? I told people, I said, if my wife doesn't change her mind, and I don't change my mind, and there's a minister, and 2 or 3 other people, that's all you need to get married. I don't know why people are, I don't know what the problem is. You are trying to feed people that are not hungry. That's why you are going into debt. I remember that time they say, hey, you've not done souvenir. I said, what is souvenir? Say, you have not done souvenir at least. I said, I'm the one getting married. Why should I be the one giving people gifts? So she now said, well, it's not a gift. It's just appreciation. I said it will be at the back of the program. It will be at the back. Appreciation, it will be at the back of the program. You know, this is deliverance for somebody. Go and marry. And stop wasting. You'll be doing this thing. So that when you are 50, your firstborn will be going to crèche. Go and marry and stop wasting her time. Huh? How can you keep one daughter of Sarah waiting for 9 years? What exactly is the problem? Say you are waiting for things to set to what? If you are single and you are not starving, and she's single and she's not starving, why do you think that when both of you now come together in that one room, you now suddenly start starving? What's your problem? What's your problem? Come, if you are around, one of the midweek services on Wednesday, we carve out 15 minutes. We join you people. When you finish, you stand there and appreciate the people from the bottom of your heart. And let everybody go back the same way they came. They came by keke napep. Let it take them back. However, they came to church. So, if you are young man, I want you to hear me very well. This is the point. If you are willing to take the wedding that God is prepared to make for you, you will never need to go into debt to get married. It is when you think you have superior ideas to the plans of God. And I want you to know that when you send yourself on an errand, God will not be responsible for your upkeep. Yes. God sends grace in the direction of his word. So if God hasn't sent you to go do it, you're on your own. I've known people that by the time their firstborn was going to crèche, they had not finished paying the debt that they owed on account. I know a man that was paying wedding debt 4 years. 4 years after the wedding, he was still paying debt. Who did this to you? Who are you trying to impress? Let me use one more minute. You see, when we got married, things were tough. In the sense that, and people didn't used to understand. So I used to tell myself, I say, my parents should be glad that I have never asked them for support. They don't understand. I don't know if I should say this thing because some... Okay, listen to me. So, you know, there are normal things that you do normally. Like with your in-laws, like with your parents. There are specific times of the year when you are supposed to behave. If your head is correct. There are normal things you should do. There was a time when we were living on, give us this day our daily bread. God, he used to come measured. No flexibility. If we're going to have 2 visitors, God will make sure that their portion is inside. But that was how we were living. There were Christmases where I couldn't give anything to my parents and I couldn't give anything to my in-laws. And I did not apologize. I can't apologize on God's behalf. The only thing I do is the work of God. If God pays me, you will hear from me. I said that because I have also seen people that have gone into debt because they are trying to live up to a societal norm that it is December, you cannot not. So those days when I started ministry, I said, you see, as my parents, you people used to take care of me. The thing you used to take care of me before. Take it. That's my first gift to you. I said, take it. So it was a number of years after our wedding. My dad eventually, he confessed to me. And you don't know an Igala man, so you won't understand the weight of what I'm telling you. My dad finally confessed to me that if anybody told him that I will behave, that I will be conscious of them, that I will take care of them like this, that he will not believe. You see, because those days when I didn't have anything, it was as if I was not aware of what my responsibilities were. Because I don't like pity parties. Say, that's how my people used to say. They say it's because hand no reach. That's why the heart is taking a beating. Because your hand cannot get there. That's why you're having pain in the heart. If your hand is able to get to it, you won't be feeling this pain. I'm not there. I didn't call myself. You didn't call me. If the money you need for Christmas, if you should come from me, God will put it in my pocket. If God doesn't put it in my pocket, it's in somebody else's pocket if you need it. It's the same way that if the money I need, if it should come from you, God will put it in your pocket. This thing is God. If you don't see God at the top of that ladder, you will put yourself under unnecessary stress. So I just kept praying. I said, don't worry. God will give us a long life. My parents will live long. My in-laws will live long. It will be clear eventually if I'm a callous man or not. Because I don't talk. I'm not one to say, how go do am? Can you square me something? No. I don't know what I was telling them a few days ago. I can't remember. Maybe it was at Theophilus' meeting. I don't know where it was. That as a man of God, I vowed before I even was called. I vowed before I started ministry that I'll never put myself in a place where somebody will see my call coming and will know that it's money I'm calling for. I told God it can never happen. Because I was somewhere where somebody was about to take a call. And when he saw the call coming, he first said, you know, go pass money now. That means it's not going to be more than money, what this call is about. But then the moment he picked that call, you wouldn't believe what he did. The man was genuflecting where he was. The person he's talking to is not here. That was what gave me the sense of the level of the man on the other end. A highly placed, highly respected man of God was the one calling him. So he could, reflexively. He couldn't even stand straight to pick the call. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You could. It was like he was before the man physically. And by the time he was done picking that call and having the conversation, I ended it. He now said, I no tell you now. Yes, that means, didn't I tell you? It's money. I was a young man, and something welled up in my heart, and I made a vow to God that day. I said, if you ever call me into ministry, I will never put myself in a place where anybody can do this to me. Are you with me? If we will starve with dignity. You can hang your life on the word of God. It's after you have suffered a while. It's part of the package. You will be broke. You will go and preach. God will tell you not to collect honorarium. You are like, God, this is not fair. He said, I'm not fair, I'm God. I'm like, okay. Then they will now think that you are such a big boy. You don't ask. Sometimes if they even give, you don't take. Like, wow. So I remember that time, some people used to say in John, say, those people, they are foreign sponsors. They are foreign sponsors. The hotel we're using before. That was where I heard that those hotel people say that those people, they have sponsors. They are foreign sponsors. Listen to me. If your confidence is based on your bank balance, you are an embarrassment to God's grace. And you know, as ministers, God requires you to preach his word without fear or favor. You cannot do that if your life is tied to the apron of anybody. Anybody. Because of their means, because of their wealth.
Hello guys, thank you for watching this video. I believe you have been blessed massively, tremendously by this exhortation of God's servant, Apostle Gideon Odoma. Yeah, actually, you see, that is the reason why many people are not married. If you ask them, they say they are gathering money, not looking for money, they believe in for money, not knowing that you can start from where you are, plan according to your resources within your reach, and if God decides to supply abundantly, you do it as he wills. Yeah, how many persons are actually ready to accept the wedding that God has for them? Yeah, and meanwhile, let me put this in according from the principle of this message, that marriage is not a competition. Wedding rather is not a competition. Yeah, because this other person did this, that does not give us a warranty or a license to do something that surpasses it or something better. Wedding is 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, but the marriage is for life. Yeah. So guys, this video have been a blessing to me particularly. I believe it was same to you. Yeah, we see that we should not put ourselves under stress to please people because of anything. If God blesses us and the resources are given to us, by his wisdom we distribute it to our family, to our in-laws and stuff like that. This message does not in any way portray dishonoring our parents. It's not a license for you to dishonor your parents, because therein lies the secret of longevity of life. Yeah. So guys, subscribe to this channel, click like on this video, share this video massively to others person, so that you can be a blessing to them. Who knows, you might be the reason, as you share this video, you sharing this video might be the reason why somebody else will get married sooner than later. Thank you. God bless you.